Greetings, friends. Jason here for AxodysFC. It is Tuesday, day after the Fulham game. Cooling off here a little bit in my neck of the woods. In fact, I saw footage. This is a ways away from here, but Stevens Pass, the highest, the highest pass here in Washington State, got a little bit of snow, and it's supposed to rain tonight and possibly drop enough the next day or two that we might end up with some temporary snow. Hopefully, if we do get any, it won't last long. I'm not ready to have to deal with that for another month or two, hopefully. But yeah, good win for us yesterday. I rewatched the last probably about 15 minutes of the game because I hadn't gotten a clear view of it, basically because the stream I was watching on crapped out yesterday, and I had to finish on radio. And yeah, we really weren't very sharp at all. I thought, the players that came in did some good things. Like Skip had a nice tackle. Then he made like a crazy cross field pass that almost got picked off, I think. Yeah, anyway, I thought he was doing some good things, actually, and he continues to show, good instincts going forward. In the games where he's come in and, that we've like come from behind while he was in, he's been getting into the box, when we're in good positions, and we know that's something that Ange has, asked of him in kind of that 8 role that SAR's in, because that's who he comes in for generally. And yeah, I mean, we've seen he actually, I mean, if we go back to the Barcelona friendly, he he has a little bit of that scoring knack, but yeah, it's interesting. People are still pretty down on him, and he was fine, but not great. And the other guys, yeah, I was disappointed in AxodysFC, actually, a little bit. He was pretty sloppy late in the game when he should have been more of a rock, it seems like. And he didn't have a good game in general, actually, one of his worst recently. And Johnson was okay, didn't get a lot of opportunity. My one concern with him, actually, going back even to the Arsenal game, is I don't think he is great at tracking back and defending, helping out in defending the way that Richie is, say, or AxodysFC. And those are the two spots that he would potentially be in. I mean, he could play through the middle too, potentially, but now that Alejo Veliz is on the scene, I kind of feel like he's probably more likely to get into that spot before Johnson would. So anyway, that does remain a little bit of a concern. I thought other subs wise that actually, and considering he was playing on the left, Emerson, I thought was pretty good. He had a couple key blocks. So I didn't feel too bad about him, actually. And yeah, and otherwise, luckily, our defense with, Christian Romero and also, of course, Mickey van der Ven, just so solid. Vicario was excellent yesterday. And yeah, we're in good shape in that regard. The one interesting thing, I'd mentioned that I was up to win. I'd done well enough in fantasy in the last thing that I was going to win a card, and sure enough, I did win a card. So Rare considers it a tier 3 limited, and the card that I won was Carlos Baleba for Brighton, and essentially it's a card that I think on the market is roughly going for about $15, so pretty good price. Kind considering him. Basically, it was a free entry, but anyway, but it's kind of baffling to me that he uh, is valued at $15 and is considered a tier 3 card because he isn't like a consistent starter for them. He has a lot of did not plays, and so I kind of wonder if the valuation is more on his future potential than what he's done to date. Anyway, I had no interest in keeping him, and so I actually um, traded him straight across for Brennan Johnson, who I had my eye on for a while. And it's interesting, the value of his card, like back at the beginning of the month, right as he was like maybe when he played against Arsenal, I think his card had gone for as much as $20 as well, which is also kind of high, I think, based on his performance over the last year or whatever. But I think it's kind of the market speculating on, future value, essentially as a young player. Anyway, I was able to just trade straight across with the card I had won because he's worth about $10 now. And so it's like a clear win to the trader that I, offered it to, even though, which I think is like a robot, actually. It's like a bot that just looks at what the market value for a given card is and makes a decision. And so if the market is overvaluing the card that I had anyway, it's a weird situation, but I ended up with Brennan Johnson, who I had my eye on for a while, with the knowledge that his price had dropped, because I'm considering him a long-term investment as a young player. The other key thing too is now I think, I do have a complete team for international breaks. I have Matt Turner as goalkeeper for those kind of scenarios, and now I have, we have multiple players that are like I have now that Mickey is getting some time with Netherlands, potentially he could go. I can pick up, actually what I need to do is pick up Ben Davies because he's super cheap, like $2 about, and I know he plays for Wales, and even if Mickey isn't getting consistent starts now, Ben Davies is. So anyway, kind of funny fantasy strategy, but I was happy to be able to flip my winnings immediately into a Tottenham card that I've been thinking about getting, so that was cool. Back to real world, Champions League was today. I didn't watch any games, but there were some significant scores. Arsenal beat Sevilla on the road. I think it was, let me see, was it? Yeah, 2-1. United beat Copenhagen, and the unlikely heroes were their keeper Onana, who's been sort of like a flop so far, even though I know he's a great keeper. Actually, he's struggling at the moment. What's his name? Maguire was also like the hero of the match apparently. So kind of funny how they're turning things around. That was a key game for them, keeping their Champions League hopes alive, but I think they're still in third in their group. Other than that, of note, Real Sociedad were 1-0 winners, or 1-0 winners in their game, which is significant because Kubo, is a guy that would be awesome to get. Highly unlikely, but if we paid the release clause, maybe we could get him. But unlikely that he'll be, if Real Sociedad, who are top of their group right now, he's not leaving in the middle of the Champions League season if they're still alive. So anyway, just worth noting that. And then the other one was Bayern over Galatasaray, actually. And obviously we're linked to a few of the Galatasaray players, and so essentially I think they are essentially Bayern now is top of the group. Harry Kane hit shot at about the 70-minute mark to put them ahead, up 2-1, and then Musiala got the third goal for them. Anyway, Galatasaray I think is in second, then United potentially. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if United can do anything. I wouldn't expect them to, but I think it's in our interest for other Premier League teams to, in Champions League, to keep playing for a while longer and hopefully impacting their performance in league. So yeah, anyway, looking forward to Crystal Palace Friday, and I'm going to have to start digging into what Palace has been looking like lately, and how that should set up for us. I think I heard Eze is still out. So yeah, I need to figure out who their most recent lineups have been. But in the meantime, thanks for tuning in as always. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these. And remember, to dare is to do.